So here we're going to take a look at the coin toss in a three-person crew. The referee is going to be at center X waiting for his partners to get the team captains. The umpire will meet with the home team captains near the top of the attack box or the wing area, and the field judge is going to do the same with the visiting team captains. Once these officials have introduced themselves, we'll walk out to center X, home team first, followed by the visiting team. Once that's set, the referee is going to go ahead and say any words of sportsmanship or captain's responsibilities that he likes to say before the game. Then the referee is going to take out a coin at least the size of a quarter and show heads and tails to the visiting team speaking captain and the home team speaking captain, who are right next to the referee in the lineup. We'll ask the visiting team captain to choose heads or tails. And once a choice is made, the referee will repeat that call and say that he will flip the coin into the air and catch it in an open palm. He will also say that if he drops it, we will re-flip. So there the referee throws the coin up into the air, catches it with an open palm, and here we're going to assume that the visiting team wins the toss. And when you win the toss, you get the choice of first alternate possession or choice of goal to defend to start the game. The visiting team chooses AP, and the home team chooses to defend their side of the field to start the game and in the third quarter. So with that said, the referee is going to rotate the captains so they face the goal they will attack to start the game. Okay, so now we have the home team facing the goal they'll attack first and third, and the visiting team doing the same. So once we're in the proper orientation, the referee is going to come over to the team that won the coin toss and selected first alternate possession and tap one of the captains on the shoulder to signify that this team has alternate possession. He will then point to the opposite goal, signaling that the visiting team will attack this direction first and third, and then he'll come over to the home team side, point in the opposite direction, and signify that the home team will be attacking that direction first and third. From there, we'll come back up, and it's usually good just to give a quick reminder of which way the teams will face for the lineup, just to speed that up before we get going for the rest of the pregame. So in this situation, the home team is going to be facing in towards the table area with their left shoulder facing this goal. The visiting team is going to face away from the table area with their left shoulder facing their goal to start the game. Once that's been said, referee can ask if his partners have anything else to add and if the captains have any questions. Once done, instruct the captains to shake hands one final time and then break off to finish their warm-ups with their teams. Here we're looking at the pregame lineup in a three-person crew. See the red team facing away from the table area, and the white team will be facing in towards the bench. The referee is the official on the right-hand side of your screen, and the field judge and umpire on the left-hand side. Once both teams are in position, as goalie, defense, midfield, and attack, the referee gives any instructions that he wants to them, asks the goalkeepers to cross, and then asks the players on each team to cross and shake hands. Once they do that, the players break off to their respective positions. The field judge becomes the wing official, out of frame on the right-hand side of your screen, and the umpire becomes the lead left official. The referee takes the very first face-off of the game and runs single side to start. Now let's flip over to the field diagram and review this mechanic in more detail. Here we have the field set for a pregame lineup in a three-person crew. The referee, umpire, and field judge set up across one another at the middle of the field, and with about 5 yards distance between the players, the red team and the blue team face one another. Left shoulders to the goal, they're going to defend first. So here, attack, midfield, defense, goalie, all left shoulders facing this goal, so they will defend this goal to start. Same for the blue team, left shoulders facing the goal to the left. Now the referee, who also has a ball so we can get right to the face-off after the lineup, introduces the entire crew, and then says any brief words about sportsmanship or how the crew expects the game to be played that day. Key thing, keep these comments as short and as to the point as you can. Remember, the players are ready to play right here, so let's get the game moving. Once you've said your piece, ask the goalkeepers to cross and shake hands at center X. They'll come in, they'll shake hands, and then they'll break off to their goal. From here, ask the players to cross and introduce themselves to the player across from them. This will work for all the other players, and then they'll break out to their respective positions for the first face-off of the game. As the players move to positions, the officials also go to where they need to go to start the first face-off of the game, where the referee becomes the face-off official, the umpire becomes the lead left official, and the field judge becomes the wing official. And we'll be looking into face-offs in separate videos. But right here, notice that the orientation is very simple. It's a triangle between these three officials. Face-off official, who's in a bit more of an angle. Lead left official, diagonal, the face-off official. And then the wing official, who's about 5 yards off the wing line and 5 yards into the field, so that this official can open up and see both wing lines from this position. Now once here, the wing official will put his hand into the air until the entire field is set, and then point towards the goal he is covering as the lead official for the ready signal, and the face-off official in lead left will set up the first face-off of the game. Don't forget. So here we're going to look at the ball coming away from the lead left official or toward the wing official, who is out of frame on the right-hand side of your screen. Here the lead left and face-off official are going to conduct the face-off. Players are down, ball goes in between the sticks, set, and blow the whistle. So here the white player pushes the ball out, we have a big possession call, and now we're going right towards where the wing official used to be, and now he's the lead official on the right side of the field. So notice that the single side official is running down towards goal just to have extra goal coverage, and the lead official is in good position to watch the sideline and cover the play. Looking at this face-off one more time, get the ready signal, face-off gets conducted, lead left official is getting out of the way just in case it gets pushed right towards him, but here the ball is going to go in the opposite direction. We have a nice big loud echoed possession call, and now the officials are moving to position, keeping a nice wide triangle between them. Now in this video we're going to take a look at the ball going away from the lead left official, so going to the right side of the field, or red's goal. So the wing official, until the field is set, has his hand in the air for the not ready signal, and then once everything is set, points downfield for the ready signal. Upon getting that signal, the face-off official and lead left begin to conduct the face-off. So the face-off players will go down, and the face-off official and lead left will adjust the players as needed. Key thing to keep in mind, lead left does not touch the bodies of the players. This allows the players to get any physical direction from the face-off official, and since it's only one official doing that, it's less information for the face-off players to process at one time. So the lead left, very simply, can just say red's heads is in the neutral zone, or blue's top hand isn't on the ground, and the face-off official can adjust that, or the players will, off of that verbal instruction. So once the face-off players are where they need to be, lead left will give a prearranged signal to the face-off official saying that he's good to go. A couple options is just to point and say, I'm good. A couple other officials like to say green light or ready. Whatever you like to say, cover it in your pregame as a crew. And then once you're set, back on out. So now we're in the slightly wider triangle position, and the face-off official now owns the face-off, with lead left providing support for any additional movement that might happen after set. The ball goes down in between the heads of the stick, face-off official says set, and at that point the players must remain motionless. From here, the face-off official backs away at a slight angle and blows the whistle, and the face-off official may be moving or may be stationary when the whistle is blown. So let's put a ball down, and we'll say on the whistle that blue pops it out and the ball goes out in this direction. Now on the whistle, the designations of the officials change. Face-off official becomes the single. Lead left official, with the ball going to the right side of the field, becomes trail. And the wing official becomes the lead official. So now we're back to our customary positions and designations. Now as the ball comes out, single, this is where the official can get trapped a little bit, because right here is where all these players are crashing down towards the ball. And we also have these players who are going to start crowding the line as that ball rolls in. And these players will probably start dropping just a touch to anticipate their player getting it. And the lead official is going to come down to the line. So if we have a quick play scenario, or if we have a player stepping over the restraining line, this official is the primary there. So again, all these players start to crash down, and that ball keeps on rolling. So single, this is a bit of a rough position for this official to be in, because he wants to work outside to keep the play in front of him, but all of the players are crashing in around him. So this is where, as the single side official, you want to stay stationary where you can. Allow the players to flow by you, and once they do, then you can take your way outside of the play. The trouble with moving is you start moving, and these players don't recognize it and cut into you, and suddenly you're getting run over. So single side, just focus, allow the play to pass you by while keeping your eyes on the developing play and anticipating what could happen, and then once the players are by you, you can make your way out. Now here we're going to have the blue player run in and has the ball. It picks it up, and now we have possession. Carrying, cradling, passing, or shooting. The on official is going to have the possession call, and in this case, more than likely it's still going to be single. It could very well be the lead running this way if this ball keeps coming out this direction. That could be the lead official's call. He'd be the on one here. But we'll bring it back. We'll say single is still on. So he has the initial possession call, big wind of the arm, loud possession to release the players, and then trail and lead will echo that signal and that verbal command. So now that the blue team has possession outside of the box, the single official is going to start an advancement count. And as we move now down towards our customary positions, we'll have this player running in, maybe he's trailed a little bit, and now these players are breaking away, trying to give him some space. This one will be curling up for a pass. Once the player touches the ball into the box, the official who first sees that puts his hand into the air to signify that the count is over and the player has stepped the ball into the box, and then points down towards the ground to again signify that the player has stepped in. It's basically a double check. Hand in the air to kill the count, point down at the ground to tell everybody, yes, he is in the box. So he brings it in and dishes the ball off to his teammate. And now at this point, we've probably recognized we might be having some subs here. Might be having one of these players run off, another player run on. Now as the field is getting set for normal settled play, lead official's backing out. This single side official will be working down towards customary position and now working a bit more into the field since the ball is far side. And while all this is happening, the trail officials works to the wing line and then jogs down to right about the top of the wing line to have this nice open field view of settled play. So here we're going to look at the ball coming away from the lead left official or toward the wing official, who is out of frame on the right-hand side of your screen. Here the lead left and face-off official are going to conduct the face-off. Players are down, ball goes in between the sticks, set, and blow the whistle. So here the white player pushes the ball out, we have a big possession call, and now we're going right towards where the wing official used to be. And now he's the lead official on the right side of the field. So notice that the single side official is running down towards goal just to have extra goal coverage, and the lead official is in good position to watch the sideline and cover the play. Looking at this face-off one more time, get the ready signal, face-off gets conducted, lead left official is getting out of the way just in case it gets pushed right towards him, but here the ball is going to go in the opposite direction. We have a nice big loud echoed possession call, and now the officials are moving to position, keeping a nice wide triangle between them. Now in this video, we're going to take a look at the ball going away from the lead left official, so going to the right side of the field, or red's goal. So the wing official, until the field is set, has his hand in the air for the not ready signal, and then once everything is set, points downfield for the ready signal. Upon getting that signal, the face-off official and lead left begin to conduct the face-off. So the face-off players will go down, and the face-off official and lead left will adjust the players as needed. Key thing to keep in mind, lead left does not touch the bodies of the players. This allows the players to get any physical direction from the face-off official, and since it's only one official doing that, it's less information for the face-off players to process at one time. So the lead left, very simply, can just say red's heads is in the neutral zone, or blue's top hand isn't on the ground, and the face-off official can adjust that, or the players will, off of that verbal instruction. So once the face-off players are where they need to be, lead left will give a prearranged signal to the face-off official saying that he's good to go. Couple options is just to point and say, I'm good. A couple other officials like to say green light or ready. Whatever you like to say, cover it in your pregame as a crew. And then once you're set, back on out. So now we're in the slightly wider triangle position, and the face-off official now owns the face-off, with lead left providing support for any additional movement that might happen after set. The ball goes down in between the heads of the stick, face-off official says set, and at that point the players must remain motionless. From here, the face-off official backs away at a slight angle and blows the whistle, and the face-off official may be moving or may be stationary when the whistle is blown. So let's put a ball down, and we'll say on the whistle that blue pops it out and the ball goes out in this direction. Now on the whistle, the designations of the officials change. Face-off official becomes the single. Lead left official, with the ball going to the right side of the field, becomes trail. And the wing official becomes the lead official. So now we're back to our customary positions and designations. Now as the ball comes out, single, this is where the official can get trapped a little bit, because right here is where all these players are crashing down towards the ball. And we also have these players who are going to start crowding the line as that ball rolls in. And these players will probably start dropping just a touch to anticipate their player getting it. And the lead official is going to come down to the line. So if we have a quick play scenario, or if we have a player stepping over the restraining line, this official is the primary there. So again, all these players start to crash down, and that ball keeps on rolling. So single, this is a bit of a rough position for this official to be in, because he wants to work outside to keep the play in front of him, but all of the players are crashing in around him. So this is where, as the single side official, you want to stay stationary where you can. Allow the players to flow by you, and once they do, then you can take your way outside of the play. The trouble with moving is you start moving, and these players don't recognize it and cut into you, and suddenly you're getting run over. So single side, just focus, allow the play to pass you by while keeping your eyes on the developing play and anticipating what could happen, and then once the players are by you, you can make your way out. Now here we're going to have the blue player run in and has the ball. It picks it up, and now we have possession, carrying, cradling, passing, or shooting. The on official is going to have the possession call, and in this case, more than likely it's still going to be single. It could very well be the lead running this way if this ball keeps coming out this direction. That could be the lead official's call. He'd be the on one here. But we'll bring it back. We'll say single is still on. So he has the initial possession call, big wind of the arm, loud possession to release the players, and then trail and lead will echo that signal and that verbal command. So now that the blue team has possession outside of the box, the single official is going to start an advancement count. And as we move now down towards our customary positions, we'll have this player running in, maybe he's trailed a little bit, and now these players are breaking away, trying to give him some space. This one will be curling up for a pass. Once the player touches the ball into the box, the official who first sees that puts his hand into the air to signify that the count is over and the player has stepped the ball into the box, and then points down towards the ground to again signify that the player has stepped in. It's basically a double check. Hand in the air to kill the count, point down at the ground to tell everybody, yes, he is in the box. So he brings it in and dishes the ball off to his teammate. And now at this point, we've probably recognized we might be having some subs here. Might be having one of these players run off, another player run on. Now as the field is getting set for normal settled play, lead official's backing out. This single side official will be working down towards customary position and now working a bit more into the field since the ball is far side. And while all this is happening, the trail officials works to the wing line and then jogs down to right about the top of the wing line to have this nice open field view of settled play. Don't forget to view more training videos on the US Lacrosse Central Hub at uslacrosse.arbitersports.com and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/menslaxofficials. Here's a face-off in a three-person crew with the face-off official setting the ball down and the lead left official backing away to position to avoid being in the way once the face-off begins. So here, face-off official is set, backs away, blows the whistle. It's a quick win by the red team. Possession is called, and now it's a race towards the goal. So we have a quick save and a strong run out by the lead official to signal where the ball is going. Let's take another look at this clip. Notice how the lead left official is just enough out of the way of the face-off as to not impede any of the players and can maintain eyes on the play all the way through the shot and the miss out of bounds. So now let's flip over and check out the diagram of how the mechanic works for the ball going toward the lead left official. Here we have the field set up for a face-off and a three-person crew, and we're going to be looking at the ball going towards the lead left official, towards Blue's defensive half of the field. And we're also going to look at two key things for this particular face-off to be aware of as either the wing official or as the lead left official. So here we have the wing official, again about 5 yards down, 5 yards into the field. And one of the key things to remember is to be aware of the most important wing line. Now, typically, this is the wing that you have to focus a lot of attention on because this is where the substitution box is, and this is where a last-minute substitution might occur before a face-off. But in this case, we'll separate these guys a little bit more. Each team is playing pretty conservatively on this wing side and has a defensive slide just in case we have a quick fast break. So this player would drop down and in. If they lost the face-off, same over here, would drop down and in to avoid the 4-on-3 fast break if that would happen. And on this side of the field, we have the players pretty well close to each other. Might be given a little bit of a shove here or there to start with, and they're jockeying for position on this far side. So this is where, as the wing official, you might actually want to step in just a touch more and maybe drop down a little bit more so you can open up and see this entire wing line and have your attention focused a bit more over here, because there's less of a chance that we're going to have to look or worry about anything going on this side of the field. So we're going to keep these wing orientations as they are, and it's just a key thing to remember which wing has the players right next to one another. And if you're unfortunate enough to have a spot where both wings are pretty packed together, this is where you have to open up very wide and just constantly check one wing to the other to make sure that nothing untoward is going on either side of the wing. But we'll bring him back there. Now, that covers the wing official in a common scenario that you may find yourself in. Here we have the lead left official set up directly behind the blue face-off player. Now, the reason this official may set up like this is for a better look at the neutral zone. But for right here, this is a great way to set up into a face-off to check is any player's shoulder, knee, foot, head, elbow in the neutral zone. Now, the tricky thing about this position, and we'll demonstrate this here, is if you don't move away. So the issue becomes, let's say this red player has been beating blue regularly, and the ball is going to get pushed forward. And already you can see what the issue is. So if you stay here, and red wins the face-off directly forward or directly off to where you'd normally be, then this player is going to run into you. The whole face-off is going to run into you. So there is a risk factor there that you want to be aware of. So if you have a neutral zone issue, a good way to handle it is to be here for the initial setup of the face-off players. Once you're satisfied with the positioning, tell your partner that you're good, and then back out to an area that allows the play to run by you. And the face-off official will get the ball down, move as he needs to, set, back away, and blow the whistle. So it's one of the things to be aware of is to pay attention to who's winning the face-offs, which face-off player is constantly pushing the ball forward. So if this player has never won the ball going straight forward and it's always been kind of a roundabout fight, you could set up right here because the likelihood of that ball getting pushed forward is very minimal. But if there's been a few face-offs or if this red player constantly wins it by pinching, popping the ball forward, you don't want to be here. It would be better to be at a spot where the play isn't going to come to you more often than not. So now let's go back to our original face-off orientation. We'll have the lead left official on an angle, face-off official also on an angle. We'll get that ball out of there. Players are put down, adjusted as needed. Again, lead left does not physically adjust the players. That's all the job of the face-off official. Once satisfied, lead left gives his signal and drops back a touch. Face-off official puts the ball in between the center of the sticks, says set, backs away, and blows the whistle. Now here we're going to have the ball 1 pinched forward, caught, possessed by the red player. And again, possession is carrying, cradling, passing, or shooting. Once one of those 4 have been established, the on official, in this case the lead left, will give that possession call. And then we're back to our normal designations for the officials. So again, we're in this customary orientation, and the job of the lead official is to get to goal line extended ahead of this play without getting in the way of all of the players. Now, the key thing to remember as this lead official is that you have backup as the single side running down. So all these players are going to run and push, and then all these other players are going to start backing down to get ready for a settle play. Maybe this one will curl below. These guys will start coming on down. So here is where the lead official's got to back out a little bit, because as this player runs down, you don't want to be in the middle of all of this, right? Don't want to have the player cutting through you, using you as a pick in this scenario, right? So come outside, allow the play to move in front of you. Let's say these players recognize, and there are defensive and offensive subs, they're going to pull on off. As this play is running down, single side is going to take advantage of the open space on the field and get down to goal line extended. So this is our goal coverage off a face-off if the lead gets stuck in this particular area, or if the play just gets pushed right to him that he has to back out to the side. We'll pull our trail official up. By this point in time, this trail official would be probably up by the midfield line. With the ball touched into the box, and the single having an active count, closest official in who sees this play will put the hand in the air to stop the count and then point down at the earth to communicate to everyone that the ball is in the box. And at that point, the single would stop the advancement count. And here is where this player might start pulling the ball out, and lead left is still going to come around. Let's say this ball gets dished off to this attackman at X. So now we're almost to our customary positions. Let's say this player gets subbed on 4. So now we're running on. This player gets subbed on as well. We have a little race for who's coming on the field. And while those subs are getting settled, trail's jogging down to just inside the wing line. And the lead official is setting up right along goal line extended. So here it's a wider triangle because the field got pushed way to the other side, and we still have bodies in front of us. So if we had kind of everybody over here, single gets the opportunity to use the field and come in. But you notice we're still in that coverage triangle. And if we have a little bit more of a contested play on this end, then lead kind of right in onto that play. But let's say that this ball gets, we'll move this player, or this official out. 1, 2 up top. Now we kind of settle down. We'll bring this player down. So now we're in a more customary, close to a 3-3. We'll bring this player up and actually make it a 3-3. There we go. And so now we're in a little bit more. We'll bring this official in. Customary offensive set. Single just a touch up off the crease line. Lead official a step above or below goal line extended. And the trail official with that nice big picture view of the entire field. This is the first of 2 clips on settled situations, where you'll be able to see all 3 officials for the majority of the situation as the ball moves around the field. In this situation, the blue team is in possession of the ball, and play is settled for a period of time, and you'll notice the officials maintain a triangle between all 3 officials, with the lead official on the left side of your screen, single side official at the top center of your screen, and the trail official in the bottom of your screen. The blue player carries the ball towards the lead official, who wisely backs up at an angle to keep the play in front of him, and then follows the play below goal line extended. Trail official pinches in a little bit, and the single side official covers the goal since the lead official was below goal line extended. On the turnover, trail official broke up field. As we watch the situation again, we're going to freeze the clip as the offensive player pushes the ball towards the goal from X. Once again, the blue player brings the ball down below goal line extended, and the field becomes a little stretched. The triangle is wide. Now, as the player comes up towards goal line extended, I'm going to pause right here and notice the position of the lead and single side officials as the play develops. We'll freeze it right here and see the lead and single side officials make no real attempt to get in closer to the play when there is a close crease play in front of the goal. This play will be covered much better with the single side official here inside the hash marks, and the lead official at this point in time should be closing in on the hash marks here to cover the crease area more fully between the lead and single side officials. This is a similar settled situation, but on the opposite half of the field, and you'll notice the officials are again in that good triangle position between all 3 officials, lead in the lower left, single on the far side of the field top center, and then the lead official on goal line extended to the right of your screen. Now here we'll just watch the officials do a very good job coming in and out of the field as the play moves. Lead official is on goal line. He comes into the field when the ball is far side. You see him move out when the ball becomes near side towards the bench. And you see the single side pinch in when the ball comes near side to the bench. So the objective in 3-person mechanics is to maintain that triangle and to move in and out of the field in relation to the ball and where your partners are. So now let's flip over to the field diagram and dig into this mechanic more deeply. Here we're taking a look at settled situations. In particular, how the officials move so that they can keep the ball in the primary triangle area of coverage. So as you'll notice, the trail official near the very end of the wing line, who could also be a couple of steps in a little bit, the single side official a few yards above the crease line, or right on it, and the lead official right along above or below goal line extended by about a step or 2. This creates the primary area of coverage between the 3 officials. And in a 3-person crew, the officials work by moving in response to where the ball moves and where one another moves to keep the ball in this triangle as best as they can. So now we've grouped these officials together, so as we move, let's say the ball's coming down towards the end line, the officials move as well. As we're pushed out towards the sideline, the triangle stays. Say the ball comes up a little bit and out towards the bench sideline. So you'll notice that no matter how the ball moves around the field, the crew is always working to stay in this orientation. So now we're going to ungroup these officials and we're going to place some players and the ball out onto the field. So now right away, we have a couple of issues with how we're set up. Number 1 is the lead official is stuck on goal line here, and the single side official probably a little bit too close for what's about to happen. So we're going to move this ball around, and we're going to move the officials around and discuss what they're doing in that particular time. Couple of key things before we get going. The lead official has a few main responsibilities: the goal and the crease area, and this entire end line, any out of bounds. The single side official is also responsible for this crease line area. He's the secondary official for most pushes or crease violations and works with the lead official. The single side official is also responsible for this far sideline. And then the trail official has three main responsibilities. Number one is the goal on the far side of the field. So if we have a quick turnover, this official turns and runs up to cover that goal. Second is the potential for over and back. So if we had a missed skip pass that starts rolling up the field, trail official runs up and gets right to the midfield line to have either an offsides call, a push call, or the potential for the over and back call. But the most important job of the trail official, and it is always the most important job, is to watch the shooter on the shot. So whoever shoots the ball from wherever on the field, the trail official in a settled play is always, always, always watching that shooter. So let's take a look at this particular situation and see if we can't position the officials to cover the play a little bit better. So here's our primary coverage area. And right now you can see that the ball is out of it because the blue team is what's known as a 3-1-2 or a 2-1-3. So let's bring the lead official down a bit, and typically that player is going to be working a two-man game behind. So we'll be a little bit better in this orientation here. So when players set up two behind, they're usually working to try a pick-and-roll game behind or to have a quick pass from here up and to the weak side of the field. So we have to have coverage on this back-end area, which is why the lead drops down to below goal line extended. Single side official, seeing how the lead has dropped down, also drops and is now covering goal line extended. So now we'll bring this official out just a little bit. So here we have still the primary coverage area, and the play is just slightly outside of it, but it's still pretty much along the line of vision between the lead and the single. Now let's see this ball pass up. So the ball comes on up, and we're passing it to space. This player comes out, catches it. And so now, once again, we're outside of our main coverage area. So how do we fix this? Well, the single's going to bump out. Trail's probably going to come up just a touch, and then the lead official's going to get pulled like a rubber band right back to a step above or below goal line extended. So here we have, again, pretty much right in our primary coverage area. And we're, again, focusing on the things we're responsible for. Single is out wide just in case we have a missed pass, and he covers the single side. Trail is high enough to see the big picture of the field and cover the over and back if necessary. And the lead is where he needs to be for end line calls and all the crease play in front of him. So let's say this ball gets kicked up to the middle of the field. So for this pass, trail's coming up. Single might come up just a touch more. There's a limit to how high the single really needs to come, and that's about 5 yards over or above the crease line, unless we get really stretched out. So right about here is still a good spot for single because not a lot is going to happen here between a lot of players. Most teams are not going to crowd up in this area because the defense doesn't have to move. So knowing this, and knowing that the blue team is going to try to run a play isolating from up top, we can stay a bit wide here. And because we have all this space in here, maybe single gets to come in a little bit. So now we're in a little bit of a shortened triangle, but again, trail has all of this. So here we're going to run a very simple sweep play. So this is where as this player is running towards his defender, right about the top of the box, this blue player is going to cut out and down, drawing his defenseman with him. So as this player runs down, we're cutting down towards the interior of the field. We're dragging the red defender, and then this player makes a hard cut, face dodge or a split dodge, maybe a roll dodge to come off of this defender. And now since we've drawn everyone, now this player has an 8-yard shot at the goal. So here is where we get a little bit interesting as a crew. So as that play is coming down, trail's coming down with it, because this player only wants to shoot. So now we're getting ready for a shot, and trail is going shooter, 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 so we can focus in on this player. Single side official pinching in just a touch, and the lead official is also pinching in, because again, the objective here is this player is going to shoot. And let's go ahead and say this player shoots and misses just wide and goes out of bounds. Well, first things first, lead official is following this ball, because we might have a contested end line play here, and let's just say blue just narrowly squeaks on by. So lead has us out of bounds. Single side official has eyes on the shooter and everybody else after the shot. Trail official has eyes on the shooter and then everyone else after the shot. So that was just a game scenario of all the responsibilities coming into play. Lead official on the end line, single official now is the goal backup, trail official has the big picture. In this video, we're going to take a look at two game situations that show proper restart mechanics by the officiating crew. In this clip, you'll see the ball go out of bounds along the end line and the lead official properly stop play, award possession, and then restart play along the end line. So here the white team has possession of the ball and they bring it bench side. Here's the shot, wide left, but white has the backup, and notice the lead official has his hand right back into the air for a nice quick restart. Pay close attention to the signals that the lead official uses. They are big, clear, and can be easily seen from a distance. He also holds them just long enough for everyone to process exactly who is getting the ball. Once again, white takes the ball from up top, cuts down towards the goal, shoots and misses. Whistle for a dead ball signal, direction of play, dead ball signal again, and then a large wind for the restart. In this clip, we're looking at the ball out of bounds along the bench sideline, which is the responsibility of the trail official in most situations to whistle out of bounds. So you can hear the out of bounds and restart whistles. The audio for the game will come on just before the ball goes out of bounds. Red has possession and is man up, and the officials are in a wide triangle. There's a shot off the pipe, and the red player is closest out of bounds. Let's look at this situation one more time with the audio off. Notice the lead official as the ball goes out of bounds. He's not running to the sideline because he knows the trail official is taking care of this. Here's the whistle, the inbounds, and then the whistle to restart play and a nice big backwards wind of the arm for the restart. Now let's flip over to the field diagram and review this mechanic in more detail. Here we look at out-of-bounds responsibilities and restarts in different settled situations. So first off, a reminder of who has which line in a settled play on one half of the field. The lead official is responsible for blowing the ball out of bounds along the end line. The single side official, responsible for blowing the ball out of bounds along the far sideline. And the trail official is also responsible for blowing the ball out of bounds along the bench sideline. Now we'll get into a couple of different situations where some communication between the officials is going to be necessary, but that covers most of the out of bounds that you'll see in a game in a three-person crew. Let's go over and start with the lead official. We'll set our officials back to where they were, and we'll bring the ball out of bounds. So key thing about the out of bounds, wherever the ball goes out of bounds, we want to be working our way toward that line. Especially if it's a contested play, we want to be right on top of that line, at least by the time we've finished blowing our whistle. It helps sell the call and show confidence in the call. So the lead official has the ball out of bounds along the entire end line, blowing it out, dead ball signal, direction of play, and then giving the dead ball signal, and if you're restarting, giving a nice good back wind of the arm to restart play with the whistle. Now, one of the beneficial things about being in a three-person crew is that sometimes your partner is in a better spot to take the restart whistle, which is why we have some overlapping areas of coverage. So say there's a shot out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the offensive team, and it comes out of bounds right about here. And the lead official does a good job chasing the ball down. Maybe it was a contested play, so he gets to the line. And the single side, since it could very well go out on the sideline, is also opening up to that sideline. And because we're stretched down towards the end line, trail comes in a little bit. So here the whistle is going to come from the lead official, and it's going to stay with the offensive team, and the ball is brought in. And here is an area where it may be beneficial, depending on how the players are set up, for the single side official to restart play here. Not an all-the-time thing, but a communication between both the lead and the single onto whose whistle that can be in this overlapping area of coverage for a restart. Because it may be that we have a whole bunch of players over here, and we could have a very quick pass shot, And if the lead has to be this far down for the restart, he won't have time to get up here in order to cover the goal, especially because single is so far out. So, to make use of angles, single can see the yardage requirements as well as the player being in bounds, and the lead can point to single, say your whistle, and work up to goal line. And if the ball comes back down towards X, then the lead can just drop right on back down, and single can come in. So this is one of those areas of the field where the restart could very well go to the single side official. Primarily it's the lead, but that's a situation where communication between these two officials is paramount, so we can have a nice, smooth, quick restart. So now the single side is probably the easiest one to deal with, because no matter where this ball goes out of bounds, single has the out of bounds, and no matter where the ball comes in, single also has the inbounds. Now the reason because of this is because the single can come right outside the field of play. He can see this entire line, and if we're way up here, we're going to bump our trail on up. We'll pull our lead in so we can keep that good area of coverage. So single has this entire line during all times in settled play. So that's the easy one. Let's take a look at the trail official now. Let's say the ball had been worked around a little bit, gets over here, it's been tipped off a defender's stick, but now we've got a race for the ball. Who's going to go ahead and take this whistle out of bounds? So a lot of times, ball gets hit off a defender or hits a pipe and it just goes screaming out of bounds. And the lead has no chance to get over here, especially because he'd have to turn around, run, might run into some other players. But the trail official, being in this customary spot by the end of the wing line, can just drop to the sideline and has the out-of-bounds whistle and the dead ball signal. So that is most of the out-of-bounds for the trail official. Pretty much goal line extended and above, trail official is going to have. There's going to be a few times, and you'll notice it's always in the corners of the field where we have two officials in play, where things can get a little bit funky. So here, the lead official, let's say we have a ricochet in a normal shot situation. And we have the ricochet, but it kind of bounced around a little bit. So now we have a slow roller heading for the sideline or possibly heading for the end line. So certainly the trail, knowing that our shooter is okay, having kept his eyes on the shooter, is going to get to the sideline. Now the lead also has to work towards the sideline as well, because he doesn't know where this ball is going to go out. He's just working to stay outside of the players, so we don't want to cut inside if we don't have to. So this might be one where the lead is right on the line and will blow this out of bounds, and the trail has to be aware of the fact that the lead is chasing this funky rolling ball out of bounds, and they'll have all of this. Now normally, the lead will have the restart below goal line extended. If it went out of bounds on the end line, he can bring it in there as well. But there might also be a case where, again, depending on how the play is set up, where the lead might blow this out of bounds and then drop down and point to the trail official and say, you take this restart. Again, maybe the ball kind of went all the way out and there aren't any additional sideline balls, so it might be a little bit of a run for the player to get it. Once he does, he brings it inbounds, and the trail can blow this whistle in. So this is, again, one where, just like the single and the lead up here, there are some times where the trail isn't always going to have the out of bounds and isn't always going to have the restart. There's some times that you got to recognize, depending on how that ball went out of bounds, the players in the area, who's the best official to take the restart. Typically, it's the closest one to it when it's below goal line extended, so that would be the lead. But there will be times where the lead might want to get some space and allow the trail official to restart this play. Again, it's very simple on that end, but it's very difficult in that game situation. So the key thing that helps a lot is to maintain eye contact between your partner on the quick restart. If it looks like your partner isn't 100% sure if he has the whistle, put your hand in the air and a whistle in your mouth, and now you're ready for the restart. Here we're going to look at 3 different game situations. This first one is a video of the lead and single side officials running on a fast break towards the goal. And you'll see the lead official have good end line out of bounds mechanics and awards possession to the opposing team. So then we begin to clear up the field. And you'll notice the single side official run hard to the cone. Lead official at the top of your screen runs down to end line. The ball is out of bounds. He signals, gives it to the red team, and see the single side official running hard up to the far midline cone to be in position for the restart. Watching this play one more time, pay particular attention to the single side official who does a really good job of using the dead ball time after the lead official's whistle to kill the play to improve his position for the ensuing restart. Once again, ball is passed, missed, lead official has the out of bounds, single side official runs hard, and while this happens, the trail official, now the new lead to the opposite side of the field, begins to back up as well. In this situation, you'll see a very quick fast break up the field. Single side official is closest to the bottom of your screen, and you're going to see the lead official in the top left of your screen as the camera moves from right to left. Pay particular attention at what the single side official is looking at when the white team takes a shot on goal. Here the player gets possession, starts running up the field. You see the lead official running hard to goal and single running hard to position as well. His eyes are on the shooter because in this situation he acts as the trail official in responsibilities on a shot. Because the trail official, the former lead, is so far back due to the speed of this fast break, that official is not in a position to have eyes on the shooter like we would normally have in settled situations. Watching this fast break again, keep your eyes on the lead official as the fast break goes towards the goal. He is right on goal line extended by the time the shot is taken, which is what we want in a three-person crew on all transitions. The goal must be covered by the new lead official. Once again, player catches it, pushes it up the field quickly, new lead official running hard to goal line. Ball is passed top left, is shot, scored, and you see the new lead official on goal line extended, which is exactly where he's supposed to be in this situation. In this third and final situation, you're going to pay particular attention to the trail official, the new trail, at the top of your screen as the ball clears from left to right. You will also see a turnover on the opposite half of the field and good mechanics between the lead and single side official to indicate that a new count has begun. Here the red team clears the ball up the field and the trail official does a good job staying behind the clear, which is where he wants to be as he jogs up the field. The break continues and you see lead running hard to the goal, great job there, single pausing for a moment, a little bit down below the restraining line. He's there because the field is still very stretched, so he's still acting a little bit like a trail official. This is a good example of a two-person game with help, which is all three-person mechanics is, an extra set of eyes coming up the field. And the single-side official can act as the trail in these stretched field situations during transition play. Let's review this play one more time. The trail official stays behind the play as the ball clears upfield, and as it does, he then jogs up the field to get to his new position. As the play continues down the field, lead official runs hard. Notice the single gives a good reset signal to show everyone that a new count has been started, and the lead official begins a 4-second crease count because the goalie picked up the ball while in the crease. This is an excellent example of clear nonverbal signals between the officiating crew and the rest of the field. So now let's flip over to the field diagram and explore this mechanic in greater detail. So here we have the ball on the right half of the field. We're going to be transitioning to the left half of the field on the clear. And we just have the officials out here just to keep things simple. So we've got the ball out of bounds. Lead official ran down to get it. Kills the play, and it's going to go to the defensive team. So now we're going to clear the ball up. So as soon as we know it's going to go to the defensive team, single side official is going to work to get up to the midfield line cone. This is ultimately where the single side wants to be by the time the whistle is blown. You won't always get there, but this is the objective. Get to the cone, and so you can follow the clear up the field. So on the run, probably by the time he hears the whistle, we might be right about here looking back towards the play. Trail official is going to become the new lead official, and this official is working to stay ultimately a line ahead of the ball. So he's going to start off with a little bit of a lead, about the top of the attack box or right inside the wing and the top of the box. eyes towards where the ball is, just in case we have a quick turnover, and he has to run in as the new trail. So here, the old lead, now the new trail, blows the ball in for the restart. And here's the key thing. So we're going to bring the ball up just up to goal line. And by the time this has happened, single is up to the cone, lead is by the attack box. Key thing for the trail official, the trail gets to jog. In a three-person crew in transition, the primary responsibility is getting these goals covered. So if the trail official gets up too high and there's a turnover and a quick push back to the goal, suddenly we have no goal coverage. So in a three-person crew, the trail official gets to be just behind the ball or just about even with the ball. Ideally, you're a little bit below it, just so you can cover the goal on a quick turnover. So here the ball continues to come up the field, and you'll see once we cross, lead official cuts down, covers goal. As we continue down, single side official releases the cone, gets down, and the trail official gets to the wing line, works his way up. Now we're on this side of the field. So now we're over here. We're going to transition back the other direction, and we're going to have the ball out of bounds in the singles main area. So here we're going to have the ball come out of bounds right about here. As that ball ran out, single is on that line, kills the play, awards possession now to the defensive team going to the right. So we're clearing up again. So single wastes no time getting up to that cone. Lead official, now the new trail, comes into the field. The trail official, now the new lead, drops towards probably right about this point in time. By the time the whistle is going to get blown, since this will be a quick restart, is going to be right about here, more than likely, at least in this area between the wing line and the top of the box. So here's one where generally we say that when we clear the ball, that whichever official is behind the play, almost always the new trail official restarts play. But this is a very long distance for this official to blow the whistle, especially because single is right here. So one of the overlapping areas for a restart, again, the out of bounds is the simpler one. Single has this entire sideline. Lead has this entire end line, blowing it out of bounds. Trail kills the play, out of bounds, just about all the time on this bench sideline. But this may be where the single side wants to blow it in, just because trail might have to be dealing with maybe some extracurricular activities over here, or just the distance involved. Let's say this ball is right up here. It just makes more sense for single to blow this ball in and then take the advancement count. So the out of bounds is simple for the single, anywhere along this line, and pretty much if it comes in for a restart between the restraining lines, it's probably a good idea for the single side to take it. Now, it's okay for the trail to do it if it's communicated between these officials. The key thing, you want eye contact with your partner if you're ever unsure about your restart. And a good quick check is, does your partner have his hand in the air and a whistle in his mouth for the restart? If that's the case, more than likely, he's ready to go for it. And so you can focus on anything off ball or working your way, if you're the new lead official, up the field. Now, one final area to take a look at is the overlapping area for a restart between the single and the lead for when we're going to clear up for the defensive team. So the ball goes out of bounds here. Lead official kills it. We're going to bring it in. This is, again, a bit of a tight spot because this could very well be that the single side got sucked in so low because the ball might have gone out of bounds here, but instead actually gets out of bounds along the end line. But either way, the responsibility for the restart here rests with, since we're going to be going towards the right half of the field, the new trail official. So we'll redesignate lead to trail. We'll do the same up top. So here, with the ball coming in bounds, it may be that the ball went out of bounds here, and single killed it and awarded possession. It may also be that the ball came out here, and the lead killed the play, and we'll restart it. Either way, this is one where the single wants to recognize that he has help, and he has the restart here, because this is a lot of distance to cover. And single, if he stays here and restarts play here, he's going to be forced to play catch-up all the way up the field. More than likely, this play is going to get so far ahead of him that he's going to be catching up the entire way. So we want to take advantage of the fact that we have a three-person crew, and recognize. So here, ball goes out of bounds. If you're single-side official, hey, this is my opportunity to jog up with my eyes on the developing play to the cone. Same thing, the ball goes out of bounds on the sideline. Kill the play, because this is the singles responsibility on the out of bounds. But while this ball is coming inbounds, utilize the dead ball time to your advantage to improve your position. As that ball is coming inbounds, you might be right about here. That ball comes in, trail official is going to check to you, make sure you're working your way up to position, sees that we have the right amount of players, you drop the arm to show that we have the necessary distance and that he's inbounds. Trail's going to blow that whistle right on in since it's a quick restart. Now we're coming on up. Singles getting on up to the cone. New lead is working, top of the attack box, and trail is jogging up the field just behind the ball. So these corner areas of the field can become a little bit tricky, but it all gets settled if the officials communicate to one another who's got the restart. And recognize that you always have an official behind the play who can take that restart in case you may be confused as to whether or not it's yours or your partner's. So eye contact and verbal and nonverbal communication between all three officials on every out of bounds is going to lead to smooth restarts for both teams through the entire game. In this crease play video, we're going to look at 3 different game situations that highlight good mechanics on the crease between the lead and single-side officials. In this clip, the single-side official is at the top left of your screen and the lead official is on the right side of your screen. Notice how the officials move as the play gets closer and closer to the crease. So the offensive player has the ball behind, lead official drops below goal line extended, and see as we get closer and closer to the crease, the lead and single work in towards the field so that they have good eyes where the crease line is. Here's the shot, a goal, and the lead official is right there. In this clip, the red team is on offense, and you see a lot of ball movement all around the field, and great movement by the lead and single-side officials. The lead official in this shot is just behind the goal, and the single-side official is the one closest to the camera. The biggest thing to notice is how the lead and single-side officials work as a team, moving in and out towards the goal depending on where the ball is. As the ball moves up, lead official comes to goal line extended, and the single is a little bit above the crease. As the ball goes behind the goal, the lead official drops down to cover that play, and the single-side official drops a little lower to cover the goal. Right here we have a missed shot, a quick out of bounds, so the lead official drops slightly, and he goes down towards the end line because this is going to be a contested end line play. Single-side official, you noticed, drops down towards goal line extended. And now we have the crease covered well and the play coming up the field covered very well. In this situation, we have a close play at the crease, and the white team that is on offense is going to be called for a crease violation. What we're looking at is the mechanics between the lead official at the top of your screen and the single-side official on the lower left-hand side of your screen, and how they communicate this crease violation and get the restart moving. So the white attackman has the ball, cuts above the crease, inside roll, steps into the crease, and we have the whistle for the crease violation and the big no-goal signal. The green defender picks up the ball, and the lead official, now the new trail official, blows the ball in for the green team to clear. Now let's look at this crease play a little bit more closely. Here the player is going to run up, and we're going to freeze the play right as he steps into the crease. Here. Now, as you saw before, the single-side official on the left side of your screen made the crease violation call just before the lead official recognized that it was a crease violation. Why is that? Well, in three-person mechanics, between the lead and the single, if the play comes towards you, you're watching the player's feet. If the play moves away from you, then you're watching the player's body. In this situation, the single-side official makes the crease violation call first, and the lead official echoes the call to help sell it. Once the single side recognizes that the lead official also has this call, he immediately begins to drop to the far cone at the midfield line in preparation for the quick restart and the clear by green. Here we're looking at a zoomed in portion of the field. So let's look at a common situation here. We're going to have the lead official here just a step below goal line extended. Single side official just about even with the top of the crease line, maybe just a touch higher. And here we're going to just pass the ball down to X. So here we have the players working at X. Lead official needs to come down. The reason for this is in case this offensive player gets pushed down to the end line, lead official wants to be right on that line. Anytime the lead official drops, the single side official drops to cover goal line extended. So here the lead official sees that the ball's going down, he moves down. Single side official moves down his touch as well. Player makes a pass off to his teammate, lead official comes back up. Single side official pushes in. These players will have come in a touch. And now, lead official's the on official. Single side official now has the primary for the crease in case we have a quick pass, shot, and a situation in and around here. So now let's look at who is responsible for what on a close crease play. So here we're going to have the offensive player out wide. And let's say he's going to go one-on-one with this defender. We'll pull him all the way out. So this player is going to go one-on-one with this defender. Lead official is right in by the crease. Single side official is out wide to keep the play in front of him. Offensive player beats the defensive player, and now we have a chase. So now as the offensive player moves, the defensive player is following. Now while these players are coming down, the single side official is also right on the back of this play following it in. Lead official pinches into the crease a touch more because here's where the potential for a crease violation, a dive, a shot, and the player running through the crease, or a push into the crease by the defense, or a combination of all of those. So who is responsible for what in this situation? Well, the lead official, we'll move him just a touch above goal line, is responsible for watching the offensive player's feet, the ball carrier's feet, because this player is coming toward the lead official. Because he's going away from the single side official, single side watches the body. So the push, any extra contact before or after a shot, single side is going to watch the body of the offensive player. So the thing to remember and the way to say it to yourself on the field, if you're the lead official and the ball is coming at you, feet, 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 feet. If you're single side official and the ball goes away from you, body, 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 body. What we don't want to have happen is the lead and single side official both watching the feet and have the player shoot, get pushed into the crease, land into the crease, and now we have to make a determination of crease violation or push. But we can't make that call because both officials' eyes were right on the feet of the player. So in this situation, if we had the push from behind followed by the step into the crease, but after the ball went into the net, we have a good goal. Single side official is watching the push, he would have the flag. Lead official would have the feet, sees the crease violation, and here we have a goal. Lead and single will look to one another. Single side official will nod to the lead official, saying, yes, the goal is good, had a push. Lead official can then put the goal signal into the air, and then we'll relay over to the trail that it's a good goal, that there was a push, and that the flag is wiped off. So now let's go and see the play from a different direction. So here, ball starts on the other side of the field. Now let's say this was right after a pass, which is when most offensive players want to go to the goal very quickly because the defense has been forced to move. So this offensive player has the ball. Lead official is outside of the play. Now he may have gone all the way outside. He may have dropped down at an angle to follow this. Either way, that is okay. Depending on the situation, it may be prudent to be out along the side at GLE, or it may be wise to be below the goal. Let's say the ball had come up from here, so you're just coming up on an angle. So this movement is okay. Again, depending on how the ball is moving and how you like to move. Single side official is in because the ball is far side watching the crease area. And it's okay if players are behind you in this situation, because we know this player is going to the goal in some form or fashion. And these players have no effect whatsoever on this. Also, trail official has this as the off ball. So when we know we have that crease coming up, single side official knows this, he's in close, and we're covering this area. So this player beats the defender, and again we have a chase towards the goal. Lead official crashes the crease, because we need to follow this play in. We can't just do goals or crease violations or push calls from way out here. We need to be able to move in towards the field. Single side official is also pinching in. So we're in this spot. We bring the field smaller and smaller and smaller until we're just focused on this area. And the trail has a big responsibility of watching everybody else in this situation, and also now focusing on the shooter since we're about to have a shot. So he also has a great job to do in this situation. So let's say that the offensive player shoots the ball and it goes into the goal. Before the ball fully crosses that goal line, however, he steps into the crease. The defender is right on him, but he doesn't push the offensive player illegally. Offensive player just touches in a step before or a half second before this ball has fully crossed the goal. So we don't have a goal yet, and we have a crease violation with no push from behind. The lead official does not call the crease violation in this situation. That's actually going to be on the single side, because just like we saw before, play is coming toward you, you have the feet. Play moves away from you, you have the body. So it's not dependent on whether you're lead or single watching feet or watching body. It's dependent on how the play develops. And that keeps things very simple on the field. Like we said before, body, 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 singles repeating, feet, 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 feet. And so this player takes a step in, the ball hasn't crossed the goal yet, and the defender is right on the back. Now, lead official, he may not have seen this crease violation, but he knows there was no push, and at this point in time, that ball is in the goal, right? We have the player in the crease, and now we have to sort this out. The lead official is going to kill the play. Hopefully, before he has to do that, the single side official is crashing the crease. No goal, no goal. The player stepped into the crease, blue ball. And then the lead official will get the ball to the goalie, we'll get the players out of there, and we're going to set up for a quick restart inside the crease in transition, lead becoming the new trail. So it's very important in this situation that if you know, without a shadow of a doubt, that there is no goal because we have a crease violation before the ball has fully crossed the line, is to come in big. Big signal, loud, authoritative voice. Sell the call, because in this situation, everyone thinks that a goal is scored, and we don't have that illegal contact by the defender, and the crease violation happened first. Had we had it come from the other side, single side official follows the play in. Lead official, what does he have? The feet of the offensive player. Ball is shot before it fully crosses. Offensive player steps into the crease. Lead official in this situation, no goal, no goal. Crease violation, blue ball. Get it to the goalie. We get the crease clear. Singles backing out because he knows we're going to be in transition here shortly. So that's how you work the crease in a three-person crew between lead and single. You're always on a string, moving in and out as you need to, depending on where the ball is. Here we're going to look at the first of two clips on a goal scored in a three-person crew. On the goal scored in this clip, pay close attention to the single side official as he nods to the lead official to confirm that the goal is good. Here the shot comes off, lead official whistles, runs in, but before he signals goal, he looks to the single side to make sure that the goal is good. Let's watch that again and notice the nod from the single side official. Again, the shot is taken, a goal is scored, and we'll slow it down here, and you see that little nod from the single side official right before the hands go up from the lead official on goal. Here's one more look at a goal scored situation between the lead and the single. Red has possession of the ball, throws it up top. We have a pass down low, quick shot and a goal. Lead official has the whistle, runs in, sets his feet, gives a nice clean goal signal, gets the ball, and then runs up to the face-off X. Watching this play one more time, notice how clean and crisp the goal signal is from the lead official, and that he signals towards the action in front of the goal to keep his eyes on the players. Shot in the goal, whistle, his eyes are up, so are the singles, and all the players are watched on the dead ball. So now let's flip over to the field diagram and explain more about this mechanic and how the officials rotate for the next face-off. So here we have the field set for readying the ball for the face-off after a goal is scored. And we're going to start on the left half of the field and then show how the rotation works on the right half of the field. And it's important to note before we go any further that we're always looking at this rotation as if we're looking at it from standing in the table area. So table area, left half of the field, table area, right half of the field. Because the rotation is subtly different depending on which side of the field the goal is scored on. And mainly it's to save the crew as a group running throughout the course of the game during the dead ball. So here we have a goal scored on the left side of the field. Lead's going to run in, kill the play, signal goal to the action in front of the crease. Single will pinch in a little bit, and the trail's going to pinch in just a touch, eyes on the shooter, but after the goal is scored, eyes open to the entire field. Lead is going to grab the ball, and here the lead is going to hold onto the ball. So this is what's known as the rocking chair for the trail official, because the trail official doesn't really have to go very far to get to where he needs to be. So trail official is just going to get to the wing line and drop down to the wing line on the opposite side of the field, about 5 yards down the line. Lead official, with the ball, is going to start jogging on up. Single side official is just going to play cleanup for a little bit, making sure that there's no extra action going on here. And then once he's satisfied that that dead ball extracurricular stuff is done, single side's going to jog over, and he's going to become lead left on this side of the field. So let's change our designations. Okay, so here we are. Single side became lead left. Lead official got the ball, became the face-off official. Trail official had a nice easy jog and becomes the wing official. We'll bring him in just a touch more. There we go. So now we're in our normal configuration. And the key thing is no matter what rotation we're under, this is how the officiating crew is almost always set up for the face-off to start with. Now, the lead official might be a little bit here to start with, but generally, this is how we're looking. So now let's take a look at a goal scored on the right half of the field. Okay, so now we have a goal scored here. Lead official kills the play, jogs in, freezes his feet, and signals goal to the area in front of the crease. Eyes on the players during the dead ball. Single as well, comes in just a touch. Trail comes in just a touch. Again, we bracket the players during the dead ball time. So we're always keeping our eyes on these players because one team very happy, one team not so happy that a goal was scored. So this is a time to come alive since the ball is now dead. So the lead official is going to run in, get the ball. And here we're going to change the designation so we see these officials move to the spots they're going to be at. So the lead official is going to become the face-off official. That always happens. Here on the right side of the field, the single side becomes the wing official. He'll be coming over here. And then the trail becomes lead left on the opposite side of the field. So this saves, again, the crews from running. Lead left is just going to drop to the customary spot over there. Face-off official is going to jog all the way on up to his spot at center X. And the wing official right about, so here, the wing official and the face-off official, our former lead and signal, can have a quick chat here, confirm the goal scorer, and now the face-off official is going to jog on up, and the wing official, former single, can again play cleanup here. Just eyes on this action. It's always helpful to have eyes on that dead ball action as players are subbing out. We still have mixed colored jerseys near one another, so just a good idea to hang back just for a second, make sure all that clears, and then as that face-off official jogs up, then jog over towards the end of the wing line, about 5 yards in to the field and 5 yards down from the wing line. And we're back into that customary position to start the next face-off. So a slightly different rotation, right side of the field versus the left side. But once you get into it and continue to see how just it saves you running, it's a very easy thing to recognize. And if you forget, well, hey, if you're the lead official, you have the ball, you've got the next face-off, and the other two officials, we can figure it out. Now, one key thing that we did not mention to start with is the responsibility of the lead official. So it's a little bit easier when we're talking about coming from the other side of the field. So let's say we're over here. So we'll show this on both sides of the field as well. As this former trail, now the wing official, is rotating on down, now's where a lot of substitutions are coming. Wholesale substitutions, doesn't have to go through the box, everyone's running through. So this is a prime time for the wing official to be aware of the players coming onto and off of the field, just to have a sense, making sure nothing bad is about to happen, and to get a sense that making sure just everything goes nice and smooth. Now, as the face-off official comes up to center X, by the time he gets up to center X, wing official has the 20-second timer, because now that's 20 seconds for all the substitutions on the field to be ready to go before we conduct the next face-off. So again, looking at it from the other side of the field, here it's going to be a bit more of the job of the lead left, but also split between the wings, so the face-off official will run up. Here the lead left can probably hang out right about the midfield line, just with eyes on the bench area, because the wing official, former single, is going to be covering this whole spot, making sure everything clears up over here. And as he jogs over now, this is where we can pretty much release, and the wing official is going to take over his duties. Timer on, pump the arm, flip the timer on, and continue to watch those subs coming onto the field, and then open the attention to the rest of the field to make sure the field is set for the next face-off. So the biggest thing on face-offs, no matter which way we're rotating, is that all members of the crew are focused and have their eyes not on their scorecard, not on the ball, not on the ground, but on the players. Keep your eyes on the players. That way that they know that you're paying attention to them during this time when one team has just been scored on and the other team has just scored.